Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to 2D6 Friday, episode 14, with special guest, 3 Fighting Bears. Bum, 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 bum. Hello there, everybody, and look at this. The most luxurious sub-millimeter of hair on YouTube already. Look how fast it's coming back. I know you can't feel it, but hold on, let's see if we can get some sound off it by me rubbing it in front of the mic.
Andy rubbing it in front of the mic live on YouTube.
Yeah. That will be a paid subscription service from now on, by the way. As you can see, I'm joined by international wargaming expert, analyst, and correspondent, Dreddy.
Yes, hi. How's it going? I'm here.
And the Lewd Bowl poster is back in full effect behind you.
Yeah, I even covered up the B, so it's actually Loot Bowl. I put like a Mantic flyer over the B.
Actually, to me, it looks kind of like Ood Bowl at the moment.
It could be, yeah. My camera is not properly angled. So you can actually see my face and not just my door and me kind of in the corner.
Now, if this show was a pizza, it would be deep dish. It would have stuffed, maybe like triple stuffed crust, 3 layers of stuffed crust, because this was a particularly juicy, not just week, but today even, things popped up all over the internet that we're going to sink our fangs into very, very shortly. But I will warn everyone, we could be interrupted at any time because the world's largest fly came into this room a minute ago, and I haven't been able to catch it yet with this handy-dandy electric fly swatter. When the light is on, flies go dead. That's not the actual slogan, but it probably should be. So,
I have one too. Mine is also yellow. See?
Hold on. Let's compare. Is it exactly the same?
I think yours is differently shaped and maybe bigger. I don't know. Like mine is exactly like my face. I don't want to go too close because there's like insect parts in there.
And you don't want to poke your nose on it and accidentally electrocute yourself.
Yes.
You can see like all the burn marks where all the moths have just been exploded on it over the years. And there's still got the occasional spider leg on there somewhere.
Here too, it's pretty gross. Also, my flatmate used to, like, when he got a food moth, he didn't just like electrify it. He then took a lighter and then like set it on fire, like on the grill, so it would be 100% dead and the eggs inside it. So there's actually like lighter burn marks on this. It's pretty weird.
Well, to avoid all that trouble, he could just like drop it in the toilet.
Yeah, I guess, but he liked to burn moths apparently.
My headphones look so weird on my head without the hair. Look at that big gap. What's it about?
It's a lot of space. You could put something in there, like, I don't know, something.
I think it's the headphones are just expanded to meet the demands of all that hair that used to be there.
Maybe.
Yeah, they're not used to it. Although it's a good tight grip, though, because of the hair's kind of staticky kind of grit surface for it to hold on to, so that's nice.
You need one of those drinking helmets with like straws going into your mouth and like can holders.
That would be really handy for tournament gaming, actually, especially if you're on a chess clock.
Yeah.
Right, I'm going to see who's in the audience right now on the fabled active users list. We have the likes of Bazooka J Rambo, Dino Titan Edition, Fake Near. Am I pronouncing that correctly? Probably.
It's not the original Nier, it's a fake Nier.
Yep. It's the Chinese reproduction Nier. We've got Grave Danger, Mickey Genver, Mini Warrior, Ronnie Dodd, Newbie, Wasgob, The Wargamer. We've got Auric Love God, maybe one of my favourite names, especially since Shaven Skaven hasn't been popping up in the chats very often. The Hobby Habit, which is what I should probably be wearing to cover up my lack of hair at the moment.
My brain read The Hobbit Habit.
We also had a couple of others earlier on who haven't commented in the last few minutes. Let's see. Oh, yeah, the Wargamer Viking was chatting away in there earlier. So, folks, shall we take our first bite of this wargaming pizza, this deep dish stuffed crust pizza of a show that we've got tonight? I think we should. So, we are going to head on over and take a look at the GW website.
There's also Amy in the chat now. Amy Snacks, hi.
Yes, so there is. And there's Fluffy Dread as well, if we didn't mention them before. So, the old GW website. Quite a bit of new juicy stuff in here. very, very 40k related, and this is where your international wargaming expertise will come in handy, being a veteran Chaos Space Marine player. And
yeah.
I don't know how you feel about Blood Angels, but there are a lot of them on this page right here.
Yeah, I don't really care about Blood Angels. They're just like pretending not to be Chaos Marines.
Do you
That's
know
the kind of
enough to tell me whether or not any of these are new models?
The Stern Guards might be new, but it might just be the bigger bases that's throwing me off. So these could actually be models that have been out. So I have never really followed Blood Angel stuff at all, so I can't tell you if these existed before. But
I don't know
maybe.
which country GW thinks I'm living in right now. But just for fun, let's go to Sweden. There we go. So for the purposes of this video, I'll be from Sweden. Let's have a look at the Swedish prices. Oh my god, look at that.
Oh,
Those are some big numbers.
That's like Swedish krona, I think, is their currency. Krona? Something like that. It's weird. I don't know how to say it.
Well, I imagine these would be quite high numbers, whatever currency you're looking at. So let's just see. Demi company. That sounds like a lot.
Yes, like a lot of company you have in there.
So what do we have? We've got 5-man Vanguard veteran squad, 5-man Stern Guard veteran squad, and 2 dreadnoughts. Well, that's not very much, but also 5 Terminators and 10 Assault Terminators. So yeah, that's a
solid.
Reasonable amount.
Yeah, good starter army, I guess.
Have you played much against Blood Angels?
I have indeed played much against Blood Angels in, I don't remember if it was 5th or 6th edition. I played a hell lot of games against Blood Angels, and they had a lot of really broken, hilarious rules. Don't remember too much, just I was mad at them a lot.
A couple of people in the chat saying that there aren't any new models here.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. I think it's mainly the books they release that are the interesting, juicy part, and the models are just like the fluff around it.
Well, shall we sink our fangs into the book then? So, here we go. Let's see all that it contains. It doesn't seem to have a nice dramatic bit for me to read in that lovely drama voice, unfortunately. Well, let's give it a go anyway. Collecting together the Black Crusade books, Traitors Hate and Angel's Blade in one bundle. This is the perfect collection for those looking for Chaos Space Marines and Blood Angels content, or simply completionists itching to fill a gap on their shelves.
Dun, dun, dun.
So Traitors Hate and Angel's Blade.
I've actually seen fluff text for these books. Maybe if you click the single books and not the double thingy.
Oh, let's see. Because my throat could use more wearing out with that terrible voice.
Yes.
Let's try this one. Angel's Blade. I assume this isn't the one you're interested in.
No, I also read Angel's Bane the whole time for some reason.
Right, here we go. Oh, by the way, the Hobby Habit says Traitor's gonna hate.
Yeah,
yes, there is a lot of hate that goes on in the 40k universe, I've noticed. People don't really embrace other races particularly, do they?
No, you just shoot people a lot.
So, the shadow of a huge fleet of Crimson Slaughter and Black Legion forces falls across the Diamore system as Abaddon the Despoiler's 13th Black Crusade is launched. This shadow is met by the righteous fury of the Blood Angels, leading a mighty coalition of Adeptus Mechanicus and Imperial Knights. The Sons of Sanguinius fight bitterly against the servants of chaos. Yet the fires of war that consume the worlds of the Diamore system are revealing dark secrets, harbingers of a terrible doom that even the Blood Angels will be hard-pressed to prevent coming to fruition. The 136... Oh, no. So...
Yeah, these are supplement books. These are supplement books that pretty much provides Blood Angels and Chaos players with what's generally called a Decurion detachment. It's like a big formation that gives you all kind of extra special rules. I pretty much only looked into the chaos stuff a bit, so I have no idea what the Blood Angels get, but there's new psychic powers, there's like extra special rules, so you can use other stuff with things, and it's great, I guess.
9
Blood
new
Angel
Blood Angels
players.
formations, but that part isn't in bold, so it can't be that important.
Yeah, like there's like standard formations in there, and then there's like, I guess, a crazy good one there where you can, I don't know, it's formation stuff, it's weird.
The important parts, though: updated data sheets, relics, revised and updated war gear, tactical objectives, Lost Brotherhood Strike Force. Apparently that's more important because that bit's in bold.
Strike Force.
And then that's a nice, convenient excuse for them to bundle up lots of Blood Angels models together, such as a pack of 3 Dreadnoughts. Do people buy these Dreadnoughts anymore? Isn't everyone all about the Contemptor nowadays?
I don't know. I think there's people who still like the old refrigerator.
I'm one of them.
I mean, I painted a lot of them. I had 2 Space Marine armies in my time, Loyalist Space Marine armies, and I painted a lot of Dreadnoughts. So they're alright. They're easy to paint. They're quick.
Do they not have a single page for the Chaos book here?
There should be one.
That's weird.
There's 2 pages, I think.
Maybe it's in new releases rather than pre-orders.
Maybe.
Here we go. We're going to go through every page one by one.
Because I could already buy it in like stores if I wanted to right now. I will get it next month because
there's the double bundle again.
Because of stuff.
There it is. Would that be it then? There's just the book, and there is it with the psychic cards as well. But let's just have a look at the book and see what it says, because this is going to sound deliciously evil, I'm sure. Here we go.
Yes.
As Abaddon the Despoiler launches his 13th Black Crusade, the diabolical lord Zophus bypasses the Cadian Gate and leads an invasion of the Diamor system. On the War Master's orders, Zophus commands the Crimson Slaughter, Black Legion, and World Bearer's forces as he seeks a monstrous source of power that could spell the doom of the Imperium itself. Standing against this ambition are the Blood Angels, leading an alliance of Adeptus Mechanicus Imperial Knights that will fight to the last to ensure that the worshippers of Chaos know defeat. The war that follows will be nothing short of apocalyptic. 126-page hardback Black Crusade. No. Okay, so this is where your expertise certainly lie.
Next supplement will be an apocalypse supplement because they just said it, probably. Maybe not. Maybe just they just randomly said it will be apocalyptic because it sounds cool.
Yeah, they have to be careful throwing around words like that have other connotations within their universe, don't they?
Yeah. So this supplement, our poor Chaos Space Marines, like we Chaos Space Marine players, we have suffered for a long time now. Our last codex, as the codex before that, not very solid, not very interesting. Like we got like the weird like Khorne, whatever, Bloodbound codex, but if you don't play Khorne, if you play like dedicated Nurgle like me, you're like, I'm not buying a stupid Khorne codex to play my army. I want to play something else. So this supplement is actually enabling us to be competitive again on the battlefield, and not just in the competitive kind, like I want to play tournaments, but just in the I can actually play my army and not feel like I didn't even need to show up kind of way. Like there's formations in there, of course, that will give us nice bonuses, like each round roll for a champion in your army, and he will get, I think you can roll twice on the Boons of Chaos table and then choose one. So if there's like you turn into a Chaos Spawn and you become a Demon Prince, you can just be like, I want the Demon Prince, please. Stuff like that. You get Veterans of the Long War for free in that certain formation, and all kinds of other things that just make life so much easier. Khorne Berserkers, not useless anymore. They actually get crazy special rules. I don't know the details because I'm not too interested in Khorne, as I said, but it's apparently great. You can use your Khorne army again and actually do something on the battlefield. We get new psychic powers, as we can see here. They're very powerful and psychic, and one of them is called Heretic, which is a bit silly but also funny.
So
And
what's the deal with these cards then? Because presumably Khorne wouldn't have psychic powers.
no, Khorne never had psychic powers. It's just like for the other. But these are 4 new psychic, what are they called, categories? Psychic disciplines that are completely new. They're not bound to gods. They're just, I think at least they just exist. Also, you can use traitor renegade knights in your army now. With, I don't know if you could do it before, but I don't think there was a codex for them. So now we have them. I don't have one, so I didn't look it up. But apparently that's a thing.
You can also have Chaos Predator and Vindicator squadrons.
Yes. And they shoot a lot. If they are as crazy as the Vindicator formations that existed in that one Space Marine thingy where they just shot like apocalyptic barrages or something, then that will be fun. Even though I only have one. But
right, so are these exciting times for you then? Because I think that's pretty much the only army you play for 40k, isn't it? In Nurgle.
These days, I pretty much play a mixture of everything Nurgle, like Traitor Guard and Demons and Chaos Space Marines. I also have an Orc army that I don't play really anymore, and I have a Dark Mechanicum army, which I just play with the 30k Mechanicum rules, but that's kind of Chaos-ish, because I call it Dark Mechanicum and it's converted, so yeah, it's Chaos all the way. So I'm chuffed. I'm looking forward to getting that book. When I get it, I hope they will release a soft cover though, because I don't want to carry more stupid hardcovers in my backpack. Because at this point, I actually play Black Legion. So even though my army is the colors of the Sons of Horus, but that's anyway. So now I would have to bring the Chaos Space Marine Codex, the Black Legion Codex, and now the Traitor's Hate book, which amounts to like this much of just paper. Like you just carry a solid wood block in your backpack, and then you need to carry your army and your dice and your templates and your, I don't know.
So we didn't show it there, but they've actually also released the Chaos Trolley, which you can pull behind and carry all these books you're going to need from now on.
Yeah, I think so. That would be a good idea at this point. So
are you at all concerned, though, that this is coming potentially on the eve, the rumoured eve of them completely changing a lot of elements of 40k and maybe coming out with a new edition that pushes the timeline on? Are you worried that this is going to be like the final release and it'll be completely obsolete in 3 months?
It could happen. I just see it as a collection thing. Like I pretty much get all the Chaos books that I'm interested in anyway. So even if it is obsolete in a few months, I will just have read it and it's in my bookshelf and looks cool. So like in that case, I'm okay with it. I wouldn't be mad. I would welcome a new 40k edition that is more streamlined actually. And maybe it's even compatible.
Some of the people you seem to play with probably wouldn't mind going back to previous editions to play, though, would they? You seem to have a very kind of an ideal crowd of gaming buddies for those kind of situations. Yeah,
I guess that would work. Even though in general most people these days tend to like play the new edition. They might be mad about it at first, like, oh, I hate these new rules. And then they play it anyway, so it doesn't really matter.
Right, let's go through the comments, see what people are saying about the Blood Angels and Chaos. Well, first of all, the Hobby Habit thinks I should do voice work for the next Diablo games. Well, if you want to send in an application on my behalf, that would be appreciated. Mini Warrior isn't happy that Blood Angels don't have Centurions. Dark Angels don't have them either.
Can't you just use them? Because they're Space Marines and just like put them in there because of ally stuff and I don't know.
You could paint them in your chapter's colours and then just ally them in, but if you wanted to your Blood or Dark Angels, technically you don't have access to Centurions.
Yeah, I guess, but yeah, I don't know. I would just paint some red, pop them in there. If you have the right gaming friends, I won't mind.
Mickey Jenver likes the Fridge Dreadnoughts.
Yeah, they're cool.
I do like the Dark Angels ones. When they're the ones that are built for close combat, I don't like so much. the fridge ones, because they look like as soon as they swing around to throw a punch, they're going to fall over, don't they?
Yeah, it looks like it, but I mean, we have seen a lot of GW 40k video games where dreadnoughts actually move around and punch stuff, and it looks like it kind of works. So it's alright. It's a bit far-fetched, but I don't know. They have a lot of characters still, and they're funny. It makes up for it.
Bazooka Rambo isn't interested in the rules, just what the story is.
The story is that Abaddon is being on his like ship's bridge and singing the Doom song all day while crusading. The Invader Zim Doom song.
Someone, oh, it's Mini Warrior there. Aren't they the same story from different points of view? That's how it looks. So would it be necessary to buy both of them, or do they just expect people to mainly buy one?
Only if you're interested in the stupid loyalist side, I guess.
You're such a traitor. Let's see what else we've got. Bazooka Jerembo, I want to see an updated Chaos Marine model. Forge World have flown ahead in terms of quality of their Legion Marines. The Traitor Legions look much better now than the old standard Chaos Marines. Yeah, the old Chaos Marines are showing their age a bit, aren't they? They do look kind of comical.
They do. I lately put one of my old plastic Chaos Marines like beside one of the new 30k Marines, and it's quite the difference.
Yeah, because I've still got lots of bits of Chaos Marines in a box somewhere that I was going to assemble into my Crab Slanesh army, but I never really got around to it. And now I'm just kind of coasting along, waiting for the next edition to see exactly what I should be doing next, because I've also got unbuilt grot tanks over there.
Yeah, those would be fun. Those would be fun to build.
Hopefully one of the starter armies with the new 40k, which they heavily simplify and kind of Age of Sigmarify it. One of the starter armies will be grot tanks.
It will be Codex grot tanks, will be the first Codex.
They can call it that as well, I won't mind.
Codex Space Marine grot tanks. Just Space Marines in grot tanks.
No one's actually asked about the bears that we promised for this episode. Unfortunately, we did prepare 3 fighting bears to face Dreading.
Yeah, shaved fighting bears even.
Yes, they were shaved because obviously you have to, when you've got fighting bears, when they're all hairy, it's difficult to see exactly where the wounds are. So if you shave them, if you shave them first and they take some damage in battle, then you can see precisely where all the little cuts and teeth marks are. However, because they were shaved, they actually thought that each other looked so delicious that they all ate each other to death before we could get them into the arena.
Yes. Also, shaved bears look like something out of a nightmare. It's crazy. They just look like red dog monstrosities. It's weird. So,
what are you hoping for out of this book mostly then? From the Chaos point of view, are you looking to just become more competitive, or are you looking for an interesting story to read?
I mean, I just played the Dread Cave Apocalypse game against Space Wolves, against Mr. Paul McPaulingson and his Space Wolves, and the differences in Codex strengths were quite apparent. Like we are not really super competitive players, but just by putting on the table what we like and just throwing something together, it was quite the difference. Like Space Wolves had 1 billion special rules, and this supplement will actually even it out. Like if I bring my Black Legion now, it will actually have more punch. It will have more free points to buy more upgrades, because certain upgrades are now free. I get more mutations, which is always good if you actually remember to do your mutations. Mutating is always fun. You can just get 3 Demon Princes every turn in theory.
How many Demon Prince models do you have for that purpose, though?
I have about 7, I think.
That's probably enough then.
Yeah, I think I should. I mean, you have a lot of champions, because even the stupid cultist champions can become Demon Princes, so who knows?
What do you have more, Demon Princes or Great Unclean Ones?
Same number at this point. I am actually, right now, I'm working on my 7th Great Unclean One, who's also a Demon Prince. And probably doesn't really show up greatly because of light issues.
Greeny, bluish.
Yeah, right now it's just primed gray, then dry brushed white, and then I just put quick shade over it. And it has a really interesting color at this point. Sadly, I can't really show it off. But it's Corbeck's Utter Blights from Forge World.
Well, while we're showing off what we're
Okay.
working on, I've got something here that I just moved over from the airbrush station a little while ago. So this is bum, 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 bum.
Blue Lady McBluingson.
It is. It's a very blue lady with a fence in front of her. This is going to be my third giant for my Kings of War Goblin army. Because 2 just wasn't cutting it anymore. I needed 3.
I like the fence. There should be something happening with that fence. I don't know what. Maybe a goblin or like a little bird sitting on it or something. Like, I don't know.
I'll definitely consider doing something extra with the fence because the base did look a bit bare. The reason the base is quite... There's that bear again. The reason the base is quite big is because the first giant I had didn't fit on the standard 50mm base because it was a big, bulky Reaper model. So then when I got the second one, which was a bit smaller, I thought I should probably put it on the same size base so all my giants are at least consistent so the opponent can tell what they're looking at. And then I got this one, and this one's even more slender. So I've got to really continue, haven't I, and put them all on the same size, or it would just be silly.
Yeah.
Also,
Pretty much.
I've also got a couple of Dead Zone terrain pieces here that I'm working on.
Oh, that's quite generator-ish.
Yeah, it's quite generator-y-ish. And also some piles of rubble as well.
Oh, those are rubble piles. They look interesting.
And I know it's technically sacrilege to mention Age of Sigmar on this Friday show, which is generally an Age of Sigmar free zone, but I am painting up this guy as well.
Ooh.
Bum, 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 with his magical mighty horn.
Mighty horn. I'm painting up a Lord Relictor, which I also can't show because my webcam won't focus close up, so I will probably post a picture at some point in the group. Or maybe not if I forget, but...
Yeah, when are you going to do the GoFundMe page for a new webcam for the Dread Cave?
In theory, there should be a new webcam on the way that one of my longtime viewers donated, but it's like from Sweden, so no one knows when or if it actually arrives. And it will actually be a Logitech something with a proper zoom and everything, so that should be good if it arrives. I hoped it would arrive today because I had a little note in my mailbox for like a mystery parcel that would arrive today. But it wasn't a webcam, but something equally exciting. It was the Panzer starter set. Na, 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 na.
Ooh.
So people might see more Panzer content on my channel finally again, where I will delve into the starter pack and tear it apart, dissect it, the different parts, review the models, look at the starter rules, and paint them up, and then do a few games. Hangout games.
The word on the street is that you have quite a few models now, and maybe some dice as well.
Oh yeah, there's dice in here. This actually comes with cool dice. Not that I needed more dice really, but it's always cool to have more dice. They have a little hammer symbol on them, which you also can't see because it's too far away. But anyway, it's
we can just about make out that there is a symbol there.
Yeah, it's like a hammer with wings. It's like the dwarven symbol, I think. That's pretty neat. And there is orcs in here, British orcs, and the German dwarves. So everything in here to start playing and have fun with the game.
How much assembly is there on those models?
Right now it looks like you pretty much only need to put on the arms in most cases. And the arms are already holding the rifle, so it should just be, each model is like 3 parts, like body and then 2 arms.
And
just like looking at it quickly.
Interesting thing about that game, that everyone seems to pronounce it as Panzerfaust, whether that's correct or not, I'll leave that to those of us who may have more of a grasp of German pronunciation. But word on the street is that that game is perfect for playing a game with someone who's not technically in the same room as you.
Yeah, yeah.
Lack of secret cards and things like that.
Pretty much. Very streamlined rules. So we will give that a go once I will be able to put my gaming table back up beginning next month. And then we will have hangout games. Probably not live. We'll record them because live games are always a bit like, nah, no one watches anyway.
Yeah, it depends on the game system, doesn't it?
It's also more interesting to get different angles and stuff with a camera and not just have the webcam like on top of the table.
Yeah, sometimes it can be fun doing live games, but quite often people don't stick around for the whole thing because they do tend to drag on. And the excitement of a battle report, when you're actually watching a full live game, you also get thrown in all those lovely juicy moments where someone has to go to their rule book for 5 minutes to look something up. And if they don't do that, then they just kind of blag their way through it. And then at the end, the comment section of the video is just dominated with, you know, at 27 minutes, you moved that unit an extra inch, even though they weren't allowed to because of this rule that you didn't look up in the book.
Yes, and then people get mad, and it's just when people get butt mad about rules, it's always annoying. Because you get email notifications about them being butt mad in the comments, and you're just like, nah, I don't want to read it.
We've got a couple of new audience members in there. We've got the likes of Mr. Miniature. I wonder if Mr. Miniature is named after his love of miniatures or if he is just tiny, though.
Maybe.
It's the same thing I've always wondered about Mini Warrior, because I don't think we ever see Mini Warrior's face in his videos, do we? So he could be just a very tiny person who is actually a warrior that's really small.
Yeah, who knows?
Also, we've got Andreas Gudmundsson, which is a name I don't think we've seen before in one of these. So welcome to you as well.
Yes, hi.
And now I think we can move on to the next thing we're going to sink our fangs into. They can't sink very deep into this one. If the whole show was like a deep dish pizza, this is more of a thin crust pizza, but with the promise of further pizza to come. So
yes. It's like a stuffed animal crust pizza.
I thought for a second that you said a stuffed enema crust pizza.
That would be gross.
That would be the worst pizza ever.
Also, we did no sinking fangs into stuff jokes with the blood angels because they are vampires.
Yeah, but I think that's too obvious. That's the low-hanging fruit of jokes. And we were only interested in the low-hanging pizza of fruits.
Indeed.
That's wrong. Anyway. Star Saga. Bum, bum, bum.
Saga.
You can see it's on the Mantic blog, so obviously it's a Mantic product that's coming up soon to launch on Kickstarter on September 26th. Apparently is the spiritual successor to Dungeon Saga.
In space.
However, yeah, you may think that we don't have any information yet because all we've got is a logo and a tiny, like 10-second video they put up as well. But there is a little bit of information. Apparently, players are going to take on platoons of minions, powerful alien bosses, and so on. A couple of other things have been confirmed, though, such as there is going to be equipment that you can put onto your character during the mission, whereas Dungeon Saga was very much between missions. You can kind of level up a little, whereas in this, it's going to be a lot more based on equipment. They've taken the feedback people had from Dungeon Saga. They wanted equipment they could equip mid-mission, and they've put that in, apparently. Quite exciting.
It is. It's pretty much... I mean, I'm a big fan of the old Space Crusades. I played it to death. And Space Hulk I like a lot. Not as much as Space Crusade. Space Crusade is just more random and weird. That's why I like it better. And this just promises to be my new Space Crusades. So I'm looking forward to it. Will be cool. And I hope we will see some concept art soon or pictures of anything.
Sign up by email to get further information on Star Saga on the Mantic website, of course. So, now you weren't too pleased that it was going to be on Kickstarter because
I don't have a credit card. Yeah, in Germany, you just don't have a credit card normally. It's not a thing. Like, almost no one I know in Germany owns a credit card. I can think of 2 people right now who have a credit card. It's just not a thing that's necessary here to live. So you normally don't get one at all. And Kickstarter doesn't take PayPal till today or any other alternatives I could use. So I'm pretty much out of all the Kickstarters. I always have to piggyback on someone who has a credit card.
Anyone in the audience who is German or living in Germany, perhaps, who manages to pay for Kickstarters without a credit card, if they have some other method that's some kind of secret ninja tricks that Dreddy doesn't know about, then let us know,
Yes.
because that would be a handy thing to know. So one issue I've got with it is that I haven't really played my Dungeon Saga yet.
Not at all. You unbox it.
It depends on the group of friends you have, because with me, it's not usually a case of I can just call up like 5 people on the street and say, hey, you want to come round for an hour and play some Dungeon Saga? It's usually like arranged in advance, come round at this point in 2 weeks' time for 3 hours and we're going to play this game, which is usually one of the big kind of war games rather than a board game. So I imagine other people have played a lot more of it than I have. But I would be interested, just probably I couldn't justify spending the money on it because I've got Dungeon Saga sitting right there.
Yeah. I mean, I know I would play it in my gaming club possibly, but I also still have to get the new Warhammer quest, which is also a must buy now that I have actually played it. I'm actually enjoying it a lot and I want it. But it's Christmas soon. Na, 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 na.
Ooh. Dino Titan Edition says, I hope there will be translation in German as well. You know, English isn't a problem for me, but if I want to play with my lady and little one, would need that.
Yeah, I guess that would be good. Like, translations generally into the language of the country where stuff is sold is a good thing. I have a kind of aversion to the German language for some reason. I'm born here, I grew up here, but I don't like German at all. I think like everything that is translated into German just sounds really nerdy and weird and stupid. So unless it's actually a German like movie or book or product, then it's okay. But if it's translated just like the word flow just doesn't work, it just I don't know, it weirds me out, makes me mad even.
You consume most of your media in English, don't you?
Yeah, I pretty much live in an English bubble. It's always weird when I stay at home for let's say 3 days and I just have everything in English. I just communicate in English, I watch stuff in English, I have my books that I read in bed in English, and then I leave the house and someone is asking me for the time or something and I just have to think, I have to switch my brain over. So it's actually a process and it's confusing.
Back into German mode. I think Dino Titan Edition might disagree with you here. So maybe we'll get some more info on that in a minute.
He disagrees. He has every right to disagree. German is okay. I just think
he
it's
loves
nerdy.
the German language because it's so abrupt and aggressive, apparently.
Yeah, Newbie is a giant nerd anyway. I wouldn't be surprised that he likes German.
That's a fair point. Auric Love God says PayPal. Well, Kickstarter don't accept PayPal, unfortunately.
No, if they would, then I would be on it. I actually said they don't take PayPal earlier.
There's usually reasons that certain websites don't like PayPal. Either they don't want to give away that juicy, whatever, 2% cut or whatever it is that PayPal takes out of everything. Or maybe they're kind of in bed with a rival company. For example, Amazon don't like PayPal because they've got their own kind of rival payments scheme. And PayPal was linked to eBay for a long time. I think it's kind of separated now. But Amazon have never allowed PayPal. So
there's like Amazon Pay now, I think. There's like an Amazon payment method, I think, around now, if I'm not mistaken.
There are a few different ones, but all of them are kind of small fries compared to PayPal. And it's going to stay that way.
PayPal is a giant.
Let's see. What else have we got here in the chat? Apparently, Stormcast in German is a fun word. How would you pronounce that?
Stormcast? I don't even know what that is in German because I never. Do they have a German name?
He says it's either Sturmbeschworen or Sturmgesandter.
I think cast is more like you cast something like in a mold, so it would be. Oh god, German brain. 1 second, it would be Sturm. Oh, I can't think of my brain is in English mode. I can't do the German word right now for casting something.
I just got a glimpse of the world's largest fly somewhere behind my computer.
Do you have to hunt it?
If it comes back, then I will be ready to strike. So the chance of capturing live murder on a stream is getting higher every time it comes into view.
Yeah, I guess it would be der Dino Titan Edition Sturmgeformte, Sturmgegossene, something Sturm.
Sturm.
Something Sturm. Yeah, Sturmschmetterling. Schmettersturmeling.
Schmettersturmeling, that would be the prosecutor's word. Anyway, now I think you've got some things you wanted to show us, haven't you? Because there goes the fly. It's right behind me.
Oh no! Yeah, I see it. I see it on the
See if I can get
screen.
it live at this awkward angle. The thing is, you have to go in slow, because if you go in too fast, you alert it to your presence, and you have to kind of angle it in the most likely escape route. So
they can sense you.
Here we go. I've got it. And there we go. It's been zapped.
Sometimes they survive it, though. They just like go unconscious for a second and then they just fly away.
Okay, I think that is one dead fly, folks. Look at that. Let's see if we can shock it a bit more. Boom. Okay.
Yes, that's a well done fly.
It's dead enough. That was a first on this show. I don't even know how that fly got in here. I don't think any windows are open right now, but it's huge. I think this video is probably going to get demonetized now for that insect murder.
Yeah, you will get like a lot of PETA members in the comments.
Do they campaign for house flies?
Maybe they do now. It could be a thing.
Anyway, fly totally failed its save. Mickey Jenver, Andy could swat a seagull with his swatter. I probably could. I don't think it would kill it in one go. That might be very effective. I think you probably have to pin down a seagull for about an hour with that thing to do any damage, to be honest.
Probably.
I wouldn't recommend it either. Anyway, where were we before that horrific incident? Tell us.
We were at showing a lot of awesome alternative models to even widen your your bolt action conflict 47 experience even more beyond the range of Warlord games, which is great, but sometimes you want a little more. And maybe even have a look at the other systems of World War II that exist out there. There we go. So let me open my professional screen share here. And yeah. And we wait if it's working.
Blackball Games.
Yes, Blackball Games. They used to be, I think. No, they didn't used to be Darkson Designs. I think they bought the rights for. Let me actually find the. They bought the rights for alternative events, World War II, and with that, like all the miniatures that exist out there. And there's a lot of really cool things. I think those are not actually this one. I don't know if this one actually exists. The Draugr, like in Skyrim. I don't even know what it is, and I don't care. But there's cooler models in here, just snipers and stuff. And let's see, we had some really cool stuff. There's like the apes, the Russian ape.
The Russian craziness. Ape sounds like a great nickname for a professional fighter.
Yes. Indeed. They have chimpanzees and they're like psychically trained or something, and then you have this psychic controllers back here that control the monkeys, and then the monkeys just go in and they're wearing uniforms and then they just rip people's arms off like monkeys do.
It reminds me of that Simpsons episode when Homer got all the monkeys to reenact the American Civil War.
Yeah, that's pretty close actually. So the monkeys are pretty cool. You could just make up rules for bolt action if you don't want to have a look into alternative events, World War II, which is actually kind of cool. So I would recommend it. Then we have the German starter set here, which has weird German experiment guys with like bionics and arms and tubes coming out of them, and the weird German doctor, of course, with his German doctor stuff. And he has to be bold, of course, because all German doctors are bold.
Yeah, and I'm actually auditioning for the part of a German doctor at the moment. That's why I really shaved my head.
Yes, that's the main reason. And then there's just Nazis, whatever. Like you can just get a lot of like Wehrmacht models and stuff. So just have a look at the interesting parts, because there's a lot of stuff in here. The American Experimental Detachment. It has 2 walkers in there, like big combat suits. They actually have robots in here, like with... I forget how they work, if they have positronic brains and if they're just like programmed to do stuff, but they're pretty neat. I like the look of them. We might see better pictures of them in a bit.
Yeah, of course.
There's a rocket soldier.
The American experiments obviously are all like high-tech robots and stuff, and then the Germans are like hideous monsters with pipes hanging out of them. Obviously.
Indeed. So that's how it has to be. So we have those guys, which are pretty cool. Also the rocket soldier guy, who we'll actually see a better picture of. He's like he's actually called Indy, the indie hero, who is totally not Indiana Jones, but you can have him in your army because he's an American hero and he's known to fight Nazis, so he fits in there perfectly. He doesn't have a whip though. He has a torch, which is weird.
Well, maybe having a whip would be too close to the actual thing.
Maybe. Might be too cheeky. Oh, the Japanese hive soldier. Holy crap.
Oh my.
There's a lot of like parasite stuff going on with that hive soldier. Like he even has a fly on his. He doesn't have a fly swatter to get rid of the fly on his uniform.
Well, that's unfortunate. It looks like he's just like worms and grubs and stuff living inside like a human shell.
Pretty much. It's like Resident Evil, what was it, 4? When they became like, the zombies became just these like the tentacle things that would pop out of people's heads, and then there would be people with like tentacle heads. It was weird.
Around the time I stopped paying attention to Resident Evil.
Yeah, me too. I still played 4, but that was pretty much it. I actually didn't even play it. I just watched someone playing it in my living room. So yeah, the hive soldier for a Japanese army could be interesting as, I don't know, something weird. Maybe just to like spice up a unit with like a weird guy in between there. The Japanese living bullets, which is obviously some kind of weird green flame, like energetic overload running somewhere and then exploding in mystical energies person, I guess.
That's interesting. It's a nice model.
It's a nice model. I mean, it could be a marker maybe for maybe a bomb or like something like that if you use it in bold action and not in alternative events. It's an interesting model. A bit weird, but that's how weird war goes, I guess. Not the most interesting model, but this guy actually, I like this guy. It's the German lab rat. It's like a little helper. And he has like bionic arms, so he can do stuff, and like weird bionic eyes. And he has so much character. Just look at that guy.
Anytime you have a facial expression on a miniature, that's a step above what a lot of companies tend to do nowadays.
Very much so. I like him. Really cool. He could be like just in your command staff. He could be your medic or whatever. Then the worst model in this range, in my opinion, and not because it has boobs that are censored, but look at that anatomy. Like
what's going on with the legs and the head?
Someone sculpted like, I think what should be a 10-year-old boy, then put boobs on it and really weird pants and give it a really big bobblehead.
That's just kind of weird looking, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't know. I think the sculptor, with all respect, might have been a little bit intoxicated when sculpting this, kind of lost track of like how proportions work. Maybe he wanted to give the model like a weird kind of character, if you want to give him more credit, but I think for a model that has boobs, it just doesn't look like it should have boobs at all. I'm sorry.
Unless it's like a new kind of trouser-based backpack system.
Maybe. I don't know. It's just, I don't know who. If anyone ever bought this model, let me know. It's, I don't know. So, we have some dogs. Like, they're pretty cool. They're just like Soviet dogs. And they have like gas masks. And I think there's a like tank explodey dogs, like the suicide dogs, which is really sad if you like dogs, but they look cool and they have.
I can't imagine the dogs have any idea that's what their purpose is.
No, they think there's like a nice sausage under that tank and they want to eat it and then they just blow up. So it's sad. You only feel sad for the dogs, not for the soldiers, and everyone else, just the dogs.
Well, the soldiers kind of know what they're in for, don't they? They're prepared to
Yeah, it's true.
fight, whereas the dogs have no idea what's about to happen to them.
Yeah, they just got tricked into it and then blown up. That's mean. This guy is the prophet of the voice. I think he's also Russian. I think he's some kind of Rasputin character, like weird Russian magician. Looks really, really neat. Could be a spotter or something in your army. I don't know.
Is he holding
Maybe.
the official black ball of Black Ball Games?
It could be. They should take advantage of that and like call him the holder of the black ball or something. That they didn't do it. I don't even know if they like sell a lot of these models. I hope their sales go up after this video. I really do so, because Alternative Events World War II really isn't a game that should die the sad death that it has been dying for a long time now. Here's the child of the prophet, and he's not a child, but he's a guy with like, he is also a crazy Russian with a brain in his stomach or
Yeah,
something.
his eyes are certainly close to popping out.
They're very poppy.
It's like
and he has some kind of
Mars.
Yeah, that's exactly what it looks like. The scene that no one can ever unsee.
What's that beast there that looks like Abe?
This here?
Yeah, it looks like Abe from Abe's Odyssey, a little.
It's true, yeah. It's the beast of the apocalypse. I'm not really sure what it's supposed to be, like mythology or urban legend-wise. It's just a weird mutant thingy that does stuff. I have no idea. It just looks weird. It's there. It's kind of cool.
Me about this. It looks like he's wearing underpants.
Yes, I know exactly what you mean. I think he's actually wearing underpants, but the person who painted him didn't paint it as underpants, because you can see the line of the like pant legs here. At least I imagine it, and it's like it just looks like underpants. Like he should just have like a red speedo or something.
Well, if you ask me, the beast of the apocalypse should definitely fight in his pants.
Yes, that's very true.
Well, you never know. He could have been on his way to the Battle of the Bulge.
Who knows? Yeah, and there's like his little cousins, the spawn of the apocalypse. I guess they're just like his babies, and they also wear tiny pants. There's like a manufacturer that like factors like tiny pants for apocalypse beasts, apparently. I don't know.
Yeah, which faction are these for?
I have no idea. They might just be like random monsters that like roam the area and eat people.
I wonder if he's manufacturing underpants for them in that case.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's a kind of charity, because people are tired of looking at the dongs of these things.
Yeah, there's far too much monster danglage going on.
But this guy is just like, he's holding a book. He's pretty cool. He has a lot of character. Again. So just like very standard model, but could be cool for your command squad or whatever. Then we have just a Nazi on a wall. I don't know if people want to see that. He looks pretty cool, like all Nazis with trench coats and glowing eyes and giant machine guns, and that has a scope for some reason.
Yeah, a machine gun with a sniper scope. That's interesting.
I guess he needs it. I don't know. Maybe he can't see too well with his helmet and like the lights that are glowing in his helmet.
Yeah, I wonder how many shots you would get off with that scope before the recoil kicked in.
I don't know, maybe some kind of like super soldier or something. Who knows? Those actually don't have miniatures, I think, shown, so we will just look at the miniatures.
Yeah, I thought they looked a bit too good.
Yeah. This is just weapon teams. Not too interesting. A werewolf. It's a good werewolf. It looks solid for a werewolf. Kind of snarly. Has a chain.
You're going to have to remind me what the German is for werewolf, because I'm sure I know this.
Werewolf.
Really?
Pretty much you just drop like the E. It's just werewolf.
So it's nothing cool like Krankenwölfen.
Not really, sadly. But here's one of my favorites, the American Wendigo. I love it. It's a mythical American like creature of legends. It's like a ghost of the forest, which takes the form of this weird upright walking antler elk, whatever thing, and it's a really bad spirit to have around. Spoiler alerts, Stephen King's Pet Cemetery is actually, it's about a Wendigo in the end. If you find out it's about a Wendigo. If you haven't read it, too bad, I just spoiled it for you. It's an old book, get over it.
And you know what they say? Wendigo, they never come back.
Yes. Oh, there's a second picture of him. No, what happened? No, nothing, okay. This is just like some artwork. But you get the gist. It's really scary. You don't want. It's not something you want to meet in the night in the forest, because it can bring back the dead and your dead cats and children and whatever, and they will eat you. So that's bad. An American medicine man. I like the concept of having Native Americans in the U.S. Army in weird World War II. I'm a big fan of that. So
you don't see a lot of them generally in miniatures, do you?
Yeah, I mean, there's a whole range of them for like certain settings. They are out there, but they're not very popular because I guess most people are just interested like in uniforms and stuff. So I have a weak spot for them though. And he could be your medic. You could just use the medicine man as your medic in an American army. I might do that. Who knows? Because I only have a boring guy with a stretcher, and you see those every day.
Well, that is boring. That's not as exciting as carrying around that little axe with him.
Indeed. This thing is cool. It's the American Tesla cannon. Look at that. Look at that OSL. So OSL-y. Makes everything better.
Do you have any idea, scale-wise, whether all these would match up nicely with the current bolt action
Yes.
47 range?
Yes, I do. I actually have models from that range mixed into my bolt action army, and they don't stand out crazily. They're 28mm. They work. It's all good, pretty much.
Excellent.
So that's pretty cool.
We're only about halfway down, aren't we?
Yeah, this is like, I mean, this is an old game. They had time to make a lot of stuff. I don't know what that is. That's some monstrosity, whatever. It's wearing pants though, luckily.
Yeah, this one definitely is. They haven't painted its skin color this time.
Yeah.
No, a homunculus is supposed to be. I think it's like a tiny little person that lives in a jar.
Yeah. Yeah, something like an imp or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. This also a big fan. The American Skinwalker. A Skinwalker is a Native American shaman gone bad. Like he will just like curse you and turn into animals and freak you out and cause like weird time and space distortions, and there's like crazy stuff going on. There's actually Google Skinwalker Ranch and like read all the stuff about Skinwalker Ranch if you are interested in stuff like that. It's hilarious.
Presumably that's Skinwalker Ranch, not Skinwalker Wrench, which is
not like
a demonic tool.
Yes. Yeah, with a wrench. I see. I thought like wrench sauce.
Well, maybe that's a thing too.
Maybe.
It's so strong
Skinwalker
that you walk out of your own skin.
Pretty much.
Or maybe he spilt some on his pants there. Look at that red stain.
Oh yes, that could be Skinwalker wrench sauce right there. But yeah, Skinwalkers, look them up. They're cool. They're really cool. They have cool history and everything. Legendary Native American shamans that you don't want to meet ever. Or mess with.
We've got a complaint in the comments here from Mickey Jenver. We didn't come to this show to see people wearing pants.
Too bad. Maybe find someone without pants. This is the American tumbleweed tank. It's not wearing pants. There you go.
Yep. Can't argue with that.
It's just a rolling thing. It's pretty cool, I guess, because the name is cool, tumbleweed, and then it just rolls and has like cannons and a gyroscope in it.
That's pretty fun, actually.
It is. It could be a cool stand-in for whatever tank you use. $50.
It looks kind of like a dog's chew toy as well.
It does a bit. Or like something you would put your lunch in or something. I don't know. There's just like dogs. They're just like dogs. We know how dogs look. There's the American rocket trooper. Look at him. He's so determined with his little rockets. I don't know what you could use him for in bolt action. I don't know. I have no idea. But he's a cool guy.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe you could use him as like an artillery observer or something, and instead of calling in an artillery strike, you could just say it's him firing the rockets off his back.
Yeah, maybe something like that. So, or just like paratroopers that
Yeah.
actually like drop onto the battlefield. Just use like a bunch of him and like convert him a bit or something. Or
What
make him
material are all
the
these? Are they all metal?
all metal. They're all metal as far as I know. That's the thing. You could just use him as the leader of your paratroopers, I guess. That would work pretty good. American female mechanic. Let's see some cleavage.
And
There you go.
she's wearing pants.
She's wearing pants. Oh yeah, we wanted models without pants. This guy doesn't wear pants. There you go, Mickey.
Perfect.
It's
Robot
again.
troopers. Pantless robot troopers, they should have called them. Those are some
Exactly.
quite big kneecaps they've got there.
Yeah, I guess they just drop down a lot on like into cover and stuff. They need some knee protection.
I feel like I was talking to the big bad wolf dressed up as my grandmother then. What big knees you have.
Oh god. I think we are almost okay. We have seen those. Green Man. Let's look at the British Green Man. Oh, he looks like the guy from the like the laundry deterrent commercials. If you had them in the UK, the old ones from the 90s.
He's certainly odd looking. He's quite plant-like.
He's like a tree person. So I don't know. It's cool tree guy for whatever. For other games too, I guess. He has like a leaf beard, which is appropriate. Then we have the monkeys, close-up monkeys. Let's quickly have close-up. Oh, that's not too close-up. That's quite disappointing. I thought there was like a big picture here, but it's not.
Oh well.
Oh well. All right.
Some big
So this is
guns.
just weapon teams. They're pretty cool poses. American OSS agent, quite dynamic. And look at that face. He's just so American action hero like.
Isn't he?
Yeah, he has like a grenade, just like he just opened his hand, it's still stuck to his hand. So I guess
That's a good
what
tip,
he's
actually.
doing.
Always dive backwards when throwing a grenade forwards, so you increase the distance between yourself and the potential explosive.
Yes. So he's a cool whatever for you, lieutenant maybe. I don't know. American sergeant, it's just I guess he has a cigar or something. Some more Nazis. The German emaciated trooper. It's the guys with like the pincer arms and cables and stuff.
Right,
And
so
they
you
need
can
to
get
have
them
like
separately.
green liquid. Yes. Pretty much. I think you can get everything from the starter pack separately. This guy is a rolling soldat. He's actually quite funny. He's just like, he's so happy about shooting his like Panzerfaust there. And he's really muscular and just shooting stuff.
Yeah, that pose and everything, he's got a bit of a kind of Leatherface vibe going on.
Yeah, that's true. Like, this would be a cool alternative weapon team, just a big beefy guy who's like carrying a weapon because he has been jacked up with crazy steroids.
Yeah,
Which
instead
I
of
think is
having
a
3 or
deal.
4 guys on a weapon, just one with multiple.
Yeah,
movements.
just one big guy. That will work. And then, oh yeah, there's the gorilla. It's just a gorilla with like metal arms.
It's a German altered gorilla, but it does have butt cheeks. So we found our true pantless model here.
Da, 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 da.
So Mickey, there you go. If it's butt cheeks you're after, you want the German altered gorilla.
Yes, grade A gorilla butt cheeks right here. And there's just the doctor and the German Feuersoldat. Let's quickly look at him. He's just, I don't know. They changed him so he can like burn stuff with his own body flames. I don't know how it
called
works.
him? They should have called him Flaming Hands.
Yeah, I guess. Okay, so we made it all the way through the now Black Ball website for the alternative events World War II. If you're interested in the game, the rules are actually not bad. It's a skirmish game. It's fun. Look into it. And now we will go on to Secrets of the Third Reich, which is it's like a battle-sized, like big battle-sized game. It's not skirmish. And we have a lot of stuff in here. Let's just start with the Germans.
Mickey Jennifer's got a comment. Apparently, Panzerfaust is German for not wearing pants. Would that be like Panzernicht or something?
It would be like pants is not a German word.
Surely, if you just put a Z on the end, it becomes German.
Yes, Panzen, Klopfen, Panzenhausen. Oh, good. Yeah, this is like they have normal infantry and normal vehicles, but we are only looking at the weird stuff. So let's look at the weird stuff. Right away, we have clone tanks. Well, the Germans are cloning things. Can we get this even bigger? Oh, we can. So you get like a doctor, and then you get tanks, and there's stuff in it. Would make for like a neat extra scenery piece or an objective even. Like you put those in a building and they're an objective, which is pretty cool. So that works. Then we have the classic German zombies. Who could go without German zombies? Nazi zombies.
Germany and zombies.
I don't know. It just became a trend at some point. Like there were a lot of B movies with Nazi zombies, and suddenly everyone was all about like Nazi zombies and crazy.
I mean, I know Hitler had some crazy ideas and had like doctors working on weird experimental things towards the end of the war, but were some kind of zombie chemical, was that really on the agenda?
I think there's still rumors that he was trying to work on like the super soldier, so he was actually like experimenting on people to give them whatever extra powers they needed. Like there is also like the Russians apparently tried to create a soldier who wouldn't have the need for sleep, and it's creepy pasta. It's out there on the internet. It's just Google Russian sleep experiment, and it's quite interesting and creepy. More zombies. Just 20 zombies in here apparently for $26.
How many different poses are there?
I have no idea if they show all the poses or if they repeat themselves.
Let's see. Like there's about 7 or 8 different ones.
Looks like it. So if there's only like one, if there's just like doubles of like every single one, I guess that would be okay.
Yeah, you don't expect that much pose variety with zombies, do you? Because there's going to be tons of them.
Yeah, they also don't look metal. Let's see if it says anything. Nope. I don't know if they're metal or not. Don't know. There's like a tiny guy in there. Look at that. He's like the tiny leader of the zombies, and he has a leading stick for zombies.
Zombies with helmets.
Yeah, the Wehrmacht zombies, apparently.
Maybe that's how they became zombies, because if you think about it, when a zombie goes after someone, they either bite them and infect them, or they eat the brain. So the reason these guys got infected is because their brains were so well protected. So there you go. It makes perfect sense.
Yes. There you have the explanation, the official explanation for helmed Nazi zombies. The werewolf's not a big fan, to be honest. I don't know. He just looks weird. I don't know.
Yeah, he's oddly... I'm not sure if it's the proportions or just the lack of neck.
Yeah, it might be the lack of neck. It's just stuck in there.
Who has their chin resting right between their pectoral muscles like that?
Yeah. It's weird. I don't know. It's like this. It's the thing. This one, a bit better. Still not a big fan.
That one's better, definitely.
It's better. I don't know. Maybe he's not furry enough for my taste, or he just looks like too weird, slanky. I don't know. Something about this model puts me off, and I don't enjoy looking at it. It's like not a great model, maybe.
Yeah, hit it there, folks. Dreddy prefers a little bit more fur.
Yes, I like some furry. Oh, there's more werewolves, really. Yeah, this one kind of, like, he has to lean back a lot in order to howl.
It doesn't look so much like he's howling. It looks like he's doing some kind of groin thrust.
Yeah, actually does. You could put that guy right like behind your tank, and it would look like that the wolf is just humping your tank. Like sometimes dogs just hump people's legs.
Yeah, it would be best if you're using one of those big walkers, wouldn't it?
Yeah, and just on the leg of a walk.
Yeah, if anyone models that, then you will be a legend.
Just put him on the same base as a walker, just thumping the leg. I don't think we need to look at the running guy. It's just like the guy running. This here looks a bit more interesting because it's more like a were-dog. It's like a pit bull.
Yeah, that's quite interesting, actually.
Mouse.
That's not something you see
every day. It's the same sculptor, obviously, like the way he does the rib cage and everything, it's the same. But it looks a bit more.
Yeah, I'm not sold on the torso, but above the ribs, it looks good.
Yeah, pretty much. Like this whole mid area is just a bit weird, like the rib cage. So, there's so many wolves. I'm tired of wolves. I'm not looking at wolves anymore. There's just normal guys. Zombie bombs. Zombie bombs are cool. Look at those. They're cool.
They tell them there's a tasty brain underneath the tank rather than a sausage.
Yeah, they're cool. I don't know. I like the models a lot. I'm not playing Germans though, so I don't know. Wouldn't get them, but I bet you can find a use for them in Conflict 47 if you're not playing Secrets of the Third Reich. They're just cool models.
Yeah, they certainly have German zombies in Conflict 47, and I wouldn't be surprised if they had different kinds of German zombies, if not now, at some point.
Yeah. These are the zombie controllers, apparently. They just control zombies with, like, mind waves or something. Like, this guy is projecting his mind waves into this guy, and then he has a big projector or something. Or it's just a vacuum cleaner.
I like how in all the weird World War stuff, the technology isn't very subtle.
Like, yeah, it's all clunky.
Our mind waves. We don't have like this little ear implant. We have this huge thing on the back of his head pointing right at his mind, and then we have like a big reverse vacuum cleaner to fire all the bugs out into people's heads.
Yeah, I mean, it would all be prototypes that are like really clunky, just like fresh out of the labs, not streamlined, not anything. It's just like this clunky technology with the parts they already use on other stuff. Oh, it's cool. This is Wolfgang Faust, apparently, who's just Frankenstein's monster. And he's a guy. He has stuff. I don't know.
Looks like he's got a bit of a butt cheek head going on there.
Yeah, pretty much. Oh, he's just weird. I don't know. Live wire, some kind of like German assassin lady who has wires for hands with spikes on it.
If that's metal, I'm not too sure how I would feel about that because it looks like it would just snap off, doesn't it?
Yeah, just like it's just connecting to the base with like this bit of wire down here.
Actually, though, if the feet are kind of perched on the wire at the back there, that might be a bit more stable.
Yeah, I think they actually connected. It's like,
okay, that's better then. If it was just coming out of the wrist, connecting it to the base, I would not be confident about
that would be a nightmare. That would be horrible. But no, I think it should be a solid design. Okay, we did the Germans. I don't know if we should go through every single faction. Is there any faction you or the viewers want to look at?
Well,
as the last faction
let's go for the British, and then maybe another time we can look at the Soviets and the Americans.
Yes, let's look at Britain. Britain weird. First we have a para-battle chaplain, who's just a chaplain.
Yeah, with his cross, obviously.
And his little sandwich, which I guess it's a Bible, but it looks like a sandwich.
Yeah, you could make him the official sandwich bearer of the army if you want.
Yeah, the official like cheese and mustard.
And the cross is like that little spike that you sometimes get through the middle of the sandwich to hold all the layers together.
Yes.
So we've got alternative uses for alternative models now.
Dr. Lazarus looks quite cool. He's like the knower of like secret stuff that's going on. I don't know. It's the Lazarus name, which is like, I don't know, something mystical figures of stuff.
Yeah, maybe brings people back from the dead or something.
Maybe he has a cane, which is red cane. Special character Ash. Okay, yeah, she has like burning hands, like some kind of like magic stuff with white flames, which could be any color you paint them, but
Look at the width of her, like around from the belly button region.
oh yeah,
Look
I
at the
just
width of the
realized
body
that.
there.
That's almost as bad as that like German weird monstrosity sculpt that makes no sense. But she's like not. She has. I don't know.
Yeah, I think her
It
head is
doesn't look
wider
as
than her
terrible.
waist.
Yeah, that's. And
That's a
I
little bit
don't
weird.
think she could. She can eat much. She might be able to eat like a pea at once and then digest it and then eat the next pea. Kind of go through it. Yeah, that's I think uh, the proportions are a bit off here. It's always, I don't know, like getting female proportions right and making them look good is a bit of a challenge, I think, for sculptors.
Yeah, and you imagine they don't do that much of it if they're mainly doing like World War II soldiers and so on.
Yeah, like these guys. Because he doesn't look like he looks okay. He also has weird proportions because he has this giant chest, this giant barrel chest, but
They're
it
consistent
looks
proportions across the whole model, though.
yes. Like he looks like he could survive, like he could live like this. And he has a power fist. And I don't know why he's holding his gun like that. That's weird. I guess it's a flames. It's a combi flamethrower, like machine gun, and it has a scope on it.
Yeah, it looks like he would have to be some kind of super soldier to hold it in that way because it's not very well balanced, is it? There's no part of the gun beyond his hand on the other side. It's all in front of him, which would be an odd way to hold such a big weapon, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I would think he's some kind of super soldier. He also has like the half face weird bionic eye thing going on.
Yeah.
So
And instead of punching someone, he's just giving kind of a yeah kind of fist bump.
yes, he's like the British Captain Britain or something, I guess. Captain Britain, Maxwell. There we go. And he's a vampire.
He looks like kind of a vampire butler.
Yeah, Maxwell is just a vampire. He just is just there. I don't know why he's just a vampire. Could make sense. And Mr. Smithy, he's cool. He has an umbrella and a saw, or I don't know what he's holding there. If it's a saw or a pistol, but I like him.
That's a lot of blood.
Yeah, I don't know. He's very classy. He's like an assassin, like a British weird gentleman assassin who would smoke a pipe, I guess.
With all that blood on him, I would assume that's some kind of stabby weapon, but it also looks a bit pistol-y, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. I can't make it out. Like, not even if
I mean,
I
maybe
don't think it would.
he could have stabbed someone with his umbrella.
Yeah, I guess that would make sense. What's a brolly, by the way? Do you know what a brolly is?
Umbrella.
Oh, I see. I thought it would be like a crazy secret weapon, but apparently not.
Nope.
So not much for the British here, just like some really weird characters. Pretty much super soldier. They don't have zombies, they don't have weird monsters. The Britons are like pretty grounded in their Britanness.
Yeah, so next time we look at this weird World War stuff, maybe next time there's anything new and juicy for Conflict 47, we'll have to come back here and look at the rest. And anything else that pops up, or if anyone has any suggestions for weird model ranges in the weird World War category, you can drop them, preferably in the permanent comments, I think, because if you put them in the chat right now, we might just miss them, and then they'll disappear forever. We've got some new people who've popped up in the chat over the last few minutes, the likes of the Soul Assassin, Legion of One. I think there are a few others earlier who I can't find. Oh, there's Mirkwood. Yeah, right. So it's been quite busy in there. The viewer count has been steadily rising throughout the episode as the entertainment level increases as we sink our teeth further and further into that triple stuffed crust pizza that I told you about earlier, which this episode has surely been.
Yeah, I think like looking at weird models and talking crap about them is always fun.
Yes.
And entertaining. So
it certainly is. And a lot of juicy stuff on the horizon from various companies coming up very soon. I'm looking forward to seeing more of Star Saga when we get our first pieces of art, because at the moment you can't really tell whether it's obviously going to be based in their Warpath Dead Zone universe, you would imagine.
You would imagine. Who knows?
We've got no clues as to what kind of space soldiers we're going to actually be seeing as the main protagonists of that game yet. Until we see some artwork.
Maybe they make it a bit more like generic sci-fi. Like Dungeon Saga is kind of, it could exist in the Mantic universe, but it's general enough that it could just be generic fantasy, so who knows?
We shall see.
Who knows?
Time will tell. But other than that, I think it's probably about time to wrap this one up. We've been going almost an hour and a half.
Well, that's good. That's solid.
Yep, good solid piece of juicy content, juicy live content for all the people out there in YouTube land. Even though it's probably been demonetized, though, for that fly murder earlier.
It might.
Yeah, and I'm going to put the links to those websites we were looking at in the description. Someone said the camera quality is low. I assume they're talking about your camera. But I think we can see the pictures mostly all right. But in case anyone couldn't, then I will put the links in the old description if you want to go and have a look yourself.
Yes. Also blame Google Hangouts, because as soon as you go live, the quality goes down. I actually have an HD camera. Like when I'm not on Hangouts, it's actually showing me in all the details.
Yes, and that is German internet for you as well.
Yeah, sadly. It's a sad truth. I can't get better uploads than I have, even if I would murder people for it.
Yeah, because my internet did just get a lot faster, actually, although the upload speed only got slightly faster. Because in this country, it seems to be you're allowed to have really, really fast download speed, but kind of mediocre upload speed. So the download speed jumped up from about 100 megabytes to 200, but the upload only jumped from like 10 to 12.
I wish I had even like half of that.
Yeah, and the thing is, the price of the whole like TV and internet package and all that stuff actually went down with that upgrade as well.
Yeah, I'm mad. I'm mad about it. Jealous and mad.
And before we go, Dino Titan Edition tomorrow is apparently doing a live paint stream, in case anyone's interested to watch him do some painting.
Yeah, so, if he doesn't do it too late, because I will be watching Unforgotten Realms live at 7 p.m. German time, then I might pop in. Who knows? If I don't forget it.
There you go. If you want to see some German painting action, then maybe drop in on that. And I think it's time to have another look at this wonderful image.
Dun, 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 dun.
There's an awful lot crammed into this. The nice Panzerfaust or Panzerfäuster bear right there.
Yeah, that we didn't even show. It's just in there. But it's the thing.
We were kind of teasing people with what's to come with that, though, because there's going to be a lot more on that game coming up very soon, isn't there?
Yes, very much. Very much.
And, of course, the Chaos, although you're not much of a Khorne fanatic yourself. And the Blood Angels, who always have the very prominent nipple action.
They do. Like the Khan with my face kind of works, though. It's weird.
Yeah, you do have that kind of enraged, bloodlust kind of look in your face there, don't you?
Yeah, just like in real life.
Yep.
Very much. There you go. I say very much a lot today. I don't know why. I'm tired.
Well, if you think Dreddy looks like she has a thirst for human blood, then leave a permanent comment on that topic. And with that, I think it's time to say good night out there. Don't forget to like the video. Don't forget to check out the Facebook group associated with this show and this channel in general. Don't forget to check out Dreddy's channel, of course.
Gloom Dreddy Gaming.
Yes, for lots of grade A wargaming content.
Yes.
And good night, everybody.